Hi, everybody. I'm Jose, and we're going to react to the season 1 finale of Miss Marvel. And this episode is called No Normal. I'm watching this on Disney Plus, so let's get started. Thank you for being here, by the way. I'll do my review of the episode when the episode ends. New Jersey. That was pleasant. The speaker. goodness. The toffee parts. Does that mean it's from Italian Karachi? Then I mean, grandma made it, made the outfit. She's done training for just for a little bit, and it doesn't. She has to have enough training to do stuff like that. She's running in really fast and using the powers really fast and risking it. I've seen it. The stoplight. How did it derail? She's right. There she is. Poor to the Mets. The veil. They've tried to disguise us. So I was right. It was made in who drummer made it. I know this. No, since it was in a toffee bar. No, it shouldn't matter. How did they find them? How is they just dressing? So they used the find your phone feature his mom probably told him about. It's not clear on that. Actually, I had time to draw a lot in different colors. That's it, drawing. Keep in mind that Deaver wants to have Kamran alive for threatening, and that's it. They're just looking at each other. They just run. Oh, no, no, no. That's what I need the chemicals for. Closing in. That's in trouble. Both the powers then dead. Halfward. Oh. How does he know that he has the whole point of her was for her to go home, not to build her dimension, not teach her over. There's no mention of it like dying or anything like that. But now he knows it. What happened to his mom? Well, now that I want him more than for just threatening. Now he's a threat. Ooh. He's going wild. That 12 killed one of them. No consequences. right? Just was still steaming out of nowhere. Looks like he's trying to go that. Alright. You would think you will listen to Star's podcast about the adventures in Captain Marvel. More like marvelous. I'm free. Here we go. Okay. Right. She's doing chocolate too. It's activated something. And that's season 1. That was something. Yeah, this episode was quite something. The show has slow points as high points, and I think I love her family in the show. I think her mom is actually really amazing, and the way she wanted to be there for Kamala, and her father actually spoke to her really well and was wise of stuff he said to her. Her brother was someone who is he's unique. He just wants to be there for his sister, and wasn't much on him. Him being in the school because the windows were open. I mean, was out of nowhere. It's unclear on the fact that if he used the Find My Phone feature for Kamala, there wasn't much of the Nakia's board running thing till the very end. So maybe they might, if she's in the malls, they might include a little bit more on that. Otherwise, they didn't really do much of that. And then they, except for Bruno, he ended up going to Caltech, and which probably sure was expected. It's just that he didn't really spot to Kamala too much about the decision impact of that. What happened if he went, and then stuff that he would probably miss if we're gone for a little off, and there's not much about they didn't in the first episode the first episode they built that he built photon the photon gloves, and then they that was someone we discussed it, and then so probably we might see those things back again soon. We'll see. And then with Zoe, that to talk video thing was to bring people over to the high school to spread the word about what's going on. It was like more crowd control, and even though Kamala was, the temperature control wants to have they just want to see if Kamala's innocent, or just, they think that Kamala thought that the damage control was a threat, and it didn't need to be that way. He made a threat when he started attacking the guards or whatever, and the guy in the mosque spoke to him before he left about treating the way he want to be treated, and that was advice he should have learned, and he didn't retake well, and he did all these damages, broken property, and that apparently those powers that he traded, where he like uses powers made it look like stuff that basically his powers, it damaged a lot of things, and it broke a lot of cars and flipped over things and broke the road, and then those powers disappeared, and it all seems like they fixed it, and I don't know, just weird that it just happened out of women, especially it probably would have taken more than 1 week to do so, but I don't know, Jersey's Jersey. Yeah, they have that. The whole costume from Pakistan, from her grandma, so then she was on top of the street light, which said it's the image from the comments that scroll. They did that. That thought for Bruno on Bruno, even though he had a cast on when he was like dancing inside the window. They did mention things about her skills and the fact that she has all these abilities. She can do parkour and all these things. Just because he can mention it doesn't mean it's by mentioning it, he may think that the Marvel, for example, they think they can get away with that, but they need to implement it. They need to show us something. That not every just telling us things. One would just drop a couple of hints here and there won't add up to anything. They need to tell and show us about the stuff about how Kamala was able to have all these skills, and even though she trained a little bit towards the second episode, it still need more training too, and it's that she didn't have time to do so, and all these things that she's been going through, and also we're traveling in and out, but not in and out, but we all kind of just she went back in time too. But that was actually awesome how that was able to happen. If the second bingo exists somewhere, there's a possibility they might try to find it in the marbles, maybe in space, maybe it's not, maybe it's back in time, who knows. And when Kamran found out about his mom, he was pretty mad, but then he did a lot of damage and everything, but it's like he was more upset with himself in a way, so I understand why he would be like that, even if there was a possibility he could open the veil, for him to go back to his dimension and bring it into the real world. How that really turned out for him, there's no clear motive or reason why they wanted to do that in the first place. Just like I said in the previous episode, but brief reaction is the fact that Kashima wanted to go home. That was her mission to. That's why she needed Miss Marvel, and that was really risky. However, it didn't really make sense why her plans changed in a way last minute, and that's probably that's pretty sure why it turned out so. That's why it turned out the way it is. Maybe if she went through, maybe she could have survived and she would have been in her dimension, but it's that her touching the veil may want to bring it into the real world. Devil Town turned out so well for her. And the whole thing with the mutants. I understand a lot of people are really confused and upset or excited about that. And I'm not sure. I think we have X-Men now, but even so, they definitely planned it to say a crowd parts machine, meaning they have the rights to the X-Men characters, so it's not too surprising. It's just interesting the way they brought that up, especially the fact that we had Inhumans back then, and we also had Doctor Strange, where one of the characters was an Inhuman from another universe, so it's weird how they brought the idea of mutants, yeah, not mutants or mutate, that name dropping mutants in a way that Bruno did, and yeah, just who knows how that would be, and maybe if maybe in the future the Fantastic Four or Deadpool or anything like that mentions Kamala, a lot of mutation or the mutation genetics in general. Maybe that could clear up things about her and where her powers could come from, or maybe the Marvel's film could clear something up of that, even that. And yeah, just wondering how that would be. Yeah, it amazes me the fact that in a show like this can be grounded and have some cosmic elements for it, and also dimensional stuff as well. And cosmic meaning space and her powers and everything. So in a way that's like, and since the small void works really well, it all flows and makes sense in a way. It's just the way the episode and the writing within this show is. I feel like they drove done better with that, and they drove done better with the pacing. It took a while to us to realize what was happening with this story, and then Kamran also mentioned the fact that his family and the guy from Karachi, Kareem, right? His family was also dealing with, they have like a history to get a back and forth thing, probably because of Aisha or so. So besides Aisha and Najma, some back and forth with each other, it's not really much about any other than that. There's not other word. There's nothing else we know of bad blood between those two. It's not sure if it had to do with the Bakelet or anything like that. Yeah, or maybe this could be about the history of the Ten Rings. Or maybe similar to Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, where the one found a signal within the rings, and the signal they were sending maybe that could relate to Najma or Aisha could have known about that. Or no, about the origins of why that is. It does have a really nice historical element to it. Similar to Moon Knight, I feel like, but Moon Knight is completely different of its own background of storytelling within the stuff that they have within that. Moon Knight is more about gods and stuff like that, and also nighttime, and also all facts involving cultural things. And then where Miss Marvel is a little similar, but it's more cosmic in base, so there's a little bit of separation there. I'm not sure where. Maybe Eternals can also have a play in this as well. This is about historical things, so maybe the Eternals would probably know something. Maybe they didn't know things about the big role as well, so that could probably be useful if we probably would we probably will have another Eternals film, but just we'll see on how that will be. And a lot of people thought it was the Ten Rings were like quantum realm signal type based things, and maybe that could be slightly possible, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe there'll be something different from another dimension, like its own quantum realm of another dimension. I'm just estimating, no idea not that. Yeah, other than that, some of the actress who plays Kamala, she did brilliant. There were some lines that she said that were like portrayals off, but off it wasn't too perfect. I did enjoy her adding her. She brings the character to life there, and her charisma is really unique. And we do agree with her with the fact that the time this was the 1999 universe and not 616. So I do agree. I didn't agree with her at first on that, but yeah, I see it now. I just we saw Spider-Man into Spider-Verse, but across Spider-Verse, but a lot of people who probably think about this veiled multiverse dimension thing when she traveled right into the to back in 1942 at the petition that could be kind of like an incursion thing. Maybe in the next study stage to explain what that is. Maybe we can compare that to anything Doctor Strange does in the future. So who knows? We have a lot. This show to bring a lot of. This show uses a lot of presence of other films within the MCU and things within the Marvel Cinematic Universe's timeline on how things unfolded in some ways, in certain ways, and how and why. It's just hopefully we get a lot of answers there, and especially in the future of the MCU with the multiverse saga and not necessarily multiverse saga stuff, but the X-Men stuff that we have it for, and then Deadpool with that Wolverine there, but yeah, the stuff with the MCU multiverse. So I said MCU then MCU then the stuff with the MCU timeline. This show brought a lot of questions about how this could turn out to be in the future for the MCU, and also the fact we have Fantastic Four and Deadpool. We have some more X-Men conversation stuff involved in that, and also the fact that we also have Wanda as well. So maybe if they bring her back up, then maybe we can have more X-Men type elements to the MCU more than earlier than expected, even though it's a long way coming. Alright, thank you so much for watching my reactions. I appreciate it. All of you for who watched, and thank you for checking out my channel. I will do other more content here, and I'll see all of you very soon. I'll see ya. Have a good day. Bye.